It's 5 o'clock somewhere, which means I'm ready to talk to another friend and drink tequila.
It kind of got out of hand.
Ooh, baby. This is fun. Hi, everyone. It's Liza. I'm here talking with my brother, Anders. Yay! I'm drinking a Mexican mule with my favorite Espelon tequila. Anders, what are you drinking?
Drinking a Moscow Mule with some solid Tito's.
Oh, Tito's.
Yeah.
You got the fancy glass, too.
Mug, copper mug.
Sorry. Excuse me, copper mug. I have a stemless wine glass. Cheers.
Cheers.
This makes my look at the light change. So how are you doing? How is quarantine going for you? I just talked to your gal friend the other day.
Gal friend, yeah. I mean, besides that, it's pretty awful.
Yeah.
Just a lot of sitting around.
What's your least favorite part?
Well, now that it's getting hot, this is probably my least favorite part because it's just the apartment gets really warm, gets really steamy in here, so we just sit around sweating all day.
Being in LA, a lot of places don't have air conditioning, right?
Yeah, we had to buy one and put it in our back window. So
you just have it in the bedroom, though?
Mm-hmm. There's nothing in the living room, and it's definitely not strong enough to make it to the living room.
Do you have a ceiling fan?
Yeah, but it just blows around hot air.
Sure. We're going to be playing a drinking game while we do this. Very simple. I have 6 cards. I have pulled out a 2, a 3, and queens. And if we get a Q, we have to do the question game. And if we get a 2 or 3, we have to drink our drinks for 2 or 3 seconds.
Let's get drunk.
First card. It's midday drinking. All right, we got a cue. All right, question game. I'll ask a question. You have to respond with a question, and vice versa until there's a loser. In which case, that loser has to drink. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Why do you want to know what my favorite color is?
Why do games always seem to go this way?
Why did it take you so long to think of that?
Why don't you think I know how to answer or ask a question?
Are you sure that was a question?
Are you sure you should question my questions?
Why do you think I'm questioning the questions?
What is for dinner?
Why would you go so far off topic like that?
Why am I not allowed to change topic?
Why do you want to change topics like that?
Why wouldn't I want to drink more?
How is that relevant to our interests?
Why do you like Tito's more than tequila?
Why do you like tequila more than Tito's?
All right, I'm drinking.
Okay.
So we have the NFL draft tonight.
Yeah.
Because we recorded this on a Thursday of the draft. Very excited to watch it. One year I live tweeted it, and Pac-Man Jones started following me on Twitter. I don't know if he still does because I don't go on Twitter much, but I was thinking about doing it again, but everyone's online this time, so
yeah.
Do you have a list of your draft picks, or did you study this year like you usually do?
No, I have some people in mind that I would like the Titans to pick, but I don't follow a lot of the other teams closely enough. I don't follow really any of the other teams outside of the Titans closely enough to do one of those full mock draft things. But I know for the Titans, I've got a few players that I think they would. I think that would do really well on the Titans team.
Who do you think is most needed first? I've been reading stuff about a wide receiver might be going number 1. Or
No. We're not taking a wide. We don't need a wide receiver. That is one of the last positions that we need. There are
We
plenty.
need
The good
an
thing is,
offensive lineman, right?
yeah. Well, we have Dennis Kelly, who's a swing tackle.
Oh yeah.
He can play in place of Jack Conklin. I think we'll get a tackle in one of the middle rounds as
Okay.
a prospect that can develop over a year or two and then put him in place. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it's going to be either cornerback
Okay.
or defensive lineman, possibly an edge
Yeah,
rusher, like a defensive end, outside linebacker kind of player.
I think that would make the most sense as well.
Yeah.
And is that a Dory's role as a corner? Is that what he
Yeah.
does?
Yeah. He's now the,
I mean, he
pretty
does
sure
a
he's
lot of
number
things.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's number two behind Malcolm Butler now.
Okay.
But I think someone like either Christian Fulton from LSU or Jeff Gladney from, pretty sure it's Jeff Gladney, but he's from TCU, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they'd be really good
We'll see. Anders is typically
acquisitions.
right about the first or second round.
Well, I mean, last
Typically.
year was easy. Last year was was it 2 years ago with Rashawn Evans?
That
it
was
2
2
years
years
ago?
ago.
Yeah. That one was easy because we just lost Avery Williamson and we needed a linebacker in the middle and it was just the perfect situation for him.
Well, one thing I forgot was, okay, so Derrick Henry got drafted in 2016, and I think it was the end of the second round. And he got drafted pretty late for being a Heisman winner, and I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, well, Heisman winners don't really
I know,
pan out well in the NFL.
but I still think he should have gone higher. He had a lot
I
of
mean, we
upside,
drafted
so.
Mariota, who was a Heisman winner. Look at that.
You know what? He did lead us to a playoff, and
Same with Vince Young. I mean,
yeah, poor Vince Young. It's time for another card to be pulled.
Okay.
2. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Two seconds is too fast. No, but it's a good gulp. 2 seconds.
Let's get sloshed.
So what's the well, do you miss sports? Is that like one thing you actually do miss? Like I found myself actually missing baseball, and I don't really like it that much.
I was about to say, like, as an athlete, yeah, both of them. No, yeah, of course I do. But I don't really, honestly. It's going to be very controversial. I know. I don't really care much about baseball. So
No, exactly. That's my point too. It's like I miss it, but I just think I like being able to go to the games. Like I was planning to go to a lot of Yankee games because there's like these really I love these seats way up high and they're like $20 a game. So I was like, I want to go to a few and enjoy it because it's a nice, inexpensive thing to do.
well,
And
was it Christmas? Yeah, it was Christmas. Kaylin's dad got us tickets to
Red
it was
Sox?
Red Sox versus Anaheim, versus Angels. He got us
Okay.
tickets behind the plate there, and I think it was supposed to be in June, I believe. I think it was supposed to
Well,
be
it could still happen.
So I mean, I agree. I think
Unlikely,
going to a baseball game is a fun little social thing, but I don't really care much about the sport. I miss golf. We were supposed to have the Masters by now. We should have had that a couple weekends ago.
know. I'm so
That
glad we got
definitely
Tiger Woods win last year, and still that was a fun one.
Tiger Woods wins, everything's good, and the world ends.
I know. That's what happens when Tiger wins. No. Time for another card. Cue.
Oh God, this again. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we got to do it quickly though.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
Why do you want to know my favorite color again?
What's your favorite food?
What did you eat for dinner last night?
What did you eat for dinner last night? Oh, I can't do that.
Drink.
I really forgot that I can't ask. You can't, right? You can't ask the same question back.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just going to go back and forth repeating the same question.
Stupid game. Do you think
So
people might be learning more about that right now, or we're going to go back to normal living?
I think we're going to go back to normal things. I don't think. I mean, you see it already where you have half the population protesting to open things up, and then the other half like we need to stay indoors and protect ourselves and others around us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I get it. I mean, it's different in every state and every city, so there has to be some sort of nuance regardless. But
yeah, I mean, who knows? I think there will be like the only thing different will be maybe at first we're not going to be as wanting to be around each other, you know, like at restaurants or bars. But I think it'll go back to otherwise after a month or whatever. It'll go back to the way it was.
Well, actually, going all the way back to your first question about what I hate about the quarantine and all that. When when Caitlin and I go to the grocery store, it's interesting to be around people because it's slightly uncomfortable because you can, you know, there's part of you that's like, I don't know if anyone has the virus. I don't even know if I have the virus. I'm going to spread it. You know, there's all these thoughts are going through your head, but it's also weird to see people in an aisle complain. They go out of their way to avoid you.
I know, it's like this has become socially acceptable to be like you're not being offensive because it's not, you want to protect yourself, but in a normal world that's like, what did I do?
No, I know, and it's funny to be walking down an aisle and you look up and you see some like woman with a shopping cart. She looks up at you and scoot, makes a quick U-turn and goes the other way.
How do you think California has handled everything? The response?
I mean, I think that they've handled to the best of their abilities. I would genuinely hate being a politician at this point in time.
Yeah.
You're going to be I mean, I feel bad for
time,
all of them. Yeah. Well, of course, but because, you know, on one hand, you're doing the best you can with the evidence that's being handed to you by scientists.
Right.
And then, you know, like a few weeks later, it turns out to be, for example, not as serious as you thought, but it's still bad. So do you ease
people
up?
Angry? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have all the people quarantined, like down in Huntington Beach. All the people were out by the beach and chanting for them to open it up again and all that sort of thing, all that stuff.
It's like, do you really miss the beach that much?
Well, hey, you know, it is California. We got all sorts of beach bums all over the place.
True.
Surfing is a way of life for many people around here. It's the perfect weather. We went for a walk around yesterday, just around the neighborhood, and you know, and that too, people just like crossing the road to avoid you, and every time you walk by someone, you're like, "Put my mask on," and then you take it off when you walk by them. But it was just hot. It was amazing out. I mean, it was 70. It was like mid-70s, I think. There was a slight breeze. It was perfect. Yeah. So it's hard not to be outside right now. It's very hard.
Card. 2 seconds. And drink. So what's the speaking of all that, what's the first thing you want to do? Because we take things seriously. We stay home for the most part, other than the grocery store and maybe a little walkabout. What's the first thing you want to do when we're allowed to flourish in the outside world again?
Oh man, I think there's so many things.
It's one thing, and it's all you get.
I don't know. There's so many things. I don't know. I mean, you know, go play golf. Go back to a golf course once it opens up, or go.
I feel like that could be opened up faster. A golf course.
Yeah, I mean that's something that can easily like the social distancing can be done easily with
It's what you
those
do anyway there,
places.
other than who you're playing
Yeah.
with. So.
You have a little foursome, and then the other groups are like halfway down the fairway or on the green or whatever. So there's social distancing is inherent in golf.
Yeah, so that's a good one to go back to. That
Yeah.
still like eases you into the world.
I think having dinner with friends or with just people or go to a bar or whatever. I think that one is that one's going to take the longest to get back to normal, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting how much you miss that sort of thing. Because I like to stay indoors. I like to just be at home, and I don't go out bars and drinking every night or whatever. But it's funny when you don't have access to it. You're like, oh man, I kind of miss doing that.
Yeah, because it's not like you would still go and be around people and work with people and be around like these very social environments, and then you don't have that at all anymore, and it's weird.
Yeah, I and a lot of people I've talked to as well. They have been struggling with. They just like feel almost depressed in a way because they're not around that sort of thing. But like a lot of the people that I worked with feel that way, and I'm like, you're so used to being around people all the time. You're so used to being around such a hectic environment, and so naturally your body's just come grinding to a halt, and it's not going to know what to do.
Yeah, we're gonna have some extremely socially awkward people when we get the people that used to be
time of their lives right now.
Or everyone's just gonna be like, shots for everybody. Welcome. And then we'll be able to do this and
oh boy.
3 seconds.
I don't know if I have enough for 3 seconds. We'll see.
It hurts my teeth. Our last card is a 3, so get ready to drink that drink. Cheers. The ice just kills me.
So much perspiration and coffee just dripping all over me.
Oh. All right. Well, that is all the questions that I have for today. Thank you for being on my talk show. Just kidding.